No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, good morning, Bronco Nation. How we doing? Happy Thursday to you here at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. My name's BJ Rains. We do this every weekday morning at 9 a.m. talking Boise State football, basketball, Mountain West, variety of topics. Get the pleasure of having a different co-host every day of the week with us. And Thursdays is Johnny Ballgame, John Mallory, host of Prater in the Ball Game. You hear him weekdays 3 to 6, KTIK, The Ticket, 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. Johnny, always look forward to a Thursday and getting to catch up with you. How we doing?
I'm doing really well, BJ. Not sure what's going on. I had a stumble in connection there, but hopefully we're cleared up and ready to go on a Thursday.
Ball Game's internet. 2 days in a row. First it's Brad Bedell. Now it's John Mallory. We got some rough internet I got to upgrade the BNN internet here. We're going to should we just leave Johnny frozen on there for the show, or should I go full screen and we'll come back to him? This is Bronco Nation News Live, as I said. We'll have Johnny rejoining us here shortly. We're going today to talk about 10 prospects. There you are, Johnny. Are you back? Nope, we're paused again. Johnny's frozen again. So we'll go out and come back in or something, Johnny, and we'll get to you. No, not cleared up apparently today. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. Give us we see different people watching from different areas. Give us a morning shout out here. Where are you watching from this morning, and what are you up to? We'll give some shout outs here. We always love seeing the reach of Bronco Nation News to the various cities and even countries. We have folks watching from different countries and things. So wherever you're watching from today, let us know, and we will get some shout-outs there as we try to get John Mallory back. His internet messing up. He is in his home office there, but maybe that saves me some cash because I don't have to pay him for today's show. We'll see. So appreciate all you guys for watching. As usual, I think we have John Mallory back. There he is. Johnny, we're going to try this again. Hopefully hopefully you paid your internet bill. How we doing?
I did. I get great connection here. I don't know why I've had an issue there, but all of a sudden I looked down there and my internet was off. Like one of those things like, what the hell is this? So get out, come back in, and fired up to talk to you guys today and hear about the golf tournament. And 365 days from right now, the conversation we'll be having, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yep. Dustin said need to get Johnny an internet provider for a sponsorship.
I'm fine, guys.
Well, we had a problem yesterday with Brad Bedell's internet also. So that's 2 days in a row. My co-host has had some internet issues. So BNN needs to get these guys off dial-up. Not cleared up apparently. So, all right. Let's see here. We got Alexandra chiming in from Iowa. Good morning from Iowa. Florida. Scott, what town in Florida are you in? Man, I'm jealous there. Good morning from Florida. Johnny, of course, checking in from Meridian. We got Walla Walla checking in. Johnny for Blake. We got Southern California for Surf City Bill as well. And then Salt Lake City chiming in. So we got multiple. We got California and Florida. We're going from coast to coast here, Johnny, with folks checking in on Bronco Nation News. And yeah, as I was saying, Johnny, when we lost you, all the talk about the guys that have signed. We had, Ben Dooley on yesterday's show. You mentioned before we started that Alexander Tubner will be strapping it up here today or tomorrow, the first player to put on the helmets and the NFL gear for a mini camp with the Baltimore Ravens. So good luck to Tubes, but kind of wanted to spin this forward today and talk about next year's draft class. And part of this is in, with Braxton Feely coming back, adding another starter and a little more star power to this defense. And I got 10 names, Johnny, of potential guys that could be, drafted next year, could be in NFL free agent mini camps next year, could be in similar spots to the 6 they had this year. So I thought we could talk about some of these guys. And Kage Casey, I think, is trying to could make Boise State history here, Johnny. He's kind of the headliner on our list. I think Kage Casey, we all believe, is the best NFL draft prospect on this team. If Kage Casey can go first round, which again, lot to still happen for that. But I don't know if you saw Dane Brugler or not from The Athletic. He had the mock draft come out yesterday or the day before. He's got 23rd overall, first round, 49ers, Kage Casey. And if that were to happen, that'd be the first time in Boise State history, back-to-back years with first-round picks. So that's obviously the headliner. We got some other guys we want to talk about, but Kage Casey looking to add to that, long list of tackles at Boise State that have got drafted into the NFL, and he seems like the most surefire draft pick at this point.
It feels like sometimes in the offseason or throughout that process, Boise State will have one guy that's everybody's All-American, right? That's going to be Kage Casey this year, BJ. He'll be on all the preseason watch lists, all the big ones, all the preseason All-America teams. I don't know if they have him. I wouldn't imagine he goes to media days in Vegas. I'm probably going to put my money on Mad Dog representing the offense down there this year. But, he's going to come with all that stuff. And, yeah, but because of the position he plays too, you look at the pay scale in the NFL, quarterbacks are 1, pass rushers are 2, left tackles and receivers, I believe, are up there 3 and 4 now. So that's a primo position. And Kage Casey, although he might not be the best player, maybe there's others that are going to be better NFL players. I certainly think he'll be the most valuable. And that would be cool for Boise State and Spencer Danielson to say, I'm the first coach that I put 2 players back-to-back in the first round. Those are the dividends you want on the recruiting trail. Like, you don't want to say, hey, we'll get you to the NFL here. No, you want to say, hey, we'll get you to the NFL, but you'll be a day 1 or day 2 pick here. We'll do that. And if Kage Casey can follow that up with Ashton, that's going to be big time. But after that, you said you got 10 players on this team that maybe you could see wearing a rookie mini camp helmet invite. That's what Tubner's going to be putting on. I think tomorrow in Baltimore, he'll get his shot. He's going to get 3 days. And they're going to come up with a decision in those 3 days whether or not to say, you know what, you're going to be on our 90-man roster here. You're coming back to camp in July, and you're allowed in the building. Work out. You're one of us. So that's what they need here. I don't know if there's going to be 10, but there's going to be a few on that list, BJ. Looking forward to getting this done with you today.
Yeah, no doubt. And Kage Casey, Johnny, he was in a similar boat, not the same as Ashton Genty, but I think Kage Casey could have cashed in and made a lot of money in the portal, going somewhere for 1 year, and heard that he had, plenty of opportunities. And, the Fiesta Bowl, you guys were down there, and we're talking at media day and all that at the Fiesta Bowl with Kage Casey. And he was pretty adamant that he was coming back and said, no, he said something about coming back. And I said, well, you said coming back. You didn't say to Boise State. And he said, oh no, it's going to be Boise State. I mean, all along he's kind of said, I'm coming back. And he's kind of betting on himself again. And I think you were there that day. We talked to Tim Keene a week or two ago, and he's like, hey, everything you want is right in front of you. The left tackles can go first round at Boise State. They can get drafted. They have already with Ryan Clady and some of these guys. So it's a similar, not the same, but a little similar to the Genty situation where Casey stayed and knows that he can get what he wants to here and feels comfortable here. And, there's a chance for Boise State and for Kage Casey to cash in this year. That's
what's beautiful about the Genty deal, right? I mean, kids see that. Kids know that. Boise State is cool. I'm not saying they weren't cool anymore, but they're cooler now than they were 5 years ago, man. They've seen that logo everywhere. They've seen the blue turf everywhere. Can you imagine the advertising value that Ashton Genty highlights have given this program throughout a very important and very notable and very well-viewed process of the NFL draft? So, yeah, I mean, Boise State needs to keep this thing going. And I was maybe a little worried, Kage Casey, about one program, and that was Oregon. He's from there. I would bet that he grew up a monster Ducks fan. And most kids in that region of Oregon, they're not Beavers fans. They love the Ducks. And if Oregon needed a left tackle, and I don't know if they do, and they have, 7 figures to get one and bring him home, it might be an easier transition, but that didn't happen. And Kage Casey knows exactly the developmental track he's on at this program. And he doesn't want to risk any of that for a few $100,000. Ashton Genty set the bar. Look, the real money, the wealth, that's on the NFL contract. College, you can get paid, you can get fast cash and whatnot, but the real money is that NFL contract. And Kage Casey certainly smart enough to know that, BJ.
All right, Kage Casey, I think we agree, and most people agree, the number 1 draft pick, NFL prospect on this team for the 2026 draft, I will say.
Yeah.
But who's number 2 for you? Because I got 2 guys that I think would be the second guy to potentially get drafted on this list. I've got 2 guys. I think it's either Jaden Virgin Morgan or Ty Benefield. Is that the 2 you were thinking? Do you have somebody else?
It's not.
Okay.
I would bank money right now that Matt Lauder gets drafted next year.
Okay, I've got him fourth on my list.
Gets drafted. I love Buck Benefield too. He would be a 3-year player and leave early, which is fine. That's what Ashton did, and I think Ty Benefield's going to have that type of year, so I could see him there as well. BJ, I don't know about JVM yet. I want him to prove more this year and be an elite level player on the where he is. The premier pass rusher, and he's getting the game plan type of attention. Not saying that he won't be there. You see him like I do at practice. JVM, he fills out the uniform. What's Dirk Cutter say? Yeah, that's how we want them to look. Like JVM is one of those guys. So, yeah, if you're looking at that, JVM, if he can squeeze in there, I think Lauder's a draft pick. I think Buck's a draft pick. I know Casey is a draft pick. So all of a sudden there, if you get those 4 names called, that's tremendous. I would think, barring injury, those 4 names are at least undrafted rookie free agents, kind of like a George Halani deal, and then go make the team. After that, that's when I think the real conversation begins, because there's a couple of fringe guys, just one, like the Amarion McCoys. I would imagine McCoy's at least a rookie mini camp type of guy. Maybe he's an undrafted free agent. Maybe he leads the Mountain West in picks, and he's a day 3 kid. But there's a couple of more of those fringe guys that I'm sure you have on your top 10 too.
Yeah, we'll get further down the list here in a second. But staying with, Benefield just has the size, man. You just talked to Benefield. He has the size, and if he has a huge year, I just really like Ty Benefield and think he has a chance to really go and do something. And you mentioned Jaden Virgin Morgan too. Yeah, I just think his size, and if he were to go back and have another year with 10+ sacks or whatever, coming out of Boise State with his size and his measurables, I think he's a guy. I like Matt Lauder. I do think he was a guy that, again, probably could have cashed in the transfer portal. Be curious to see how he's used in the passing game this year. With Boise State losing some key wide receivers, not having maybe as much depth at wide receiver this year, maybe Matt Lauder ups his production. Can he be a 40? I mean, how many catches did he have this year? I think he had,
second on the team. He's the returning pass catcher, and he's on pace to finish his career as the most productive Boise State tight end of all time, at least statistically speaking. He scored a teeter in a Fiesta Bowl. I mean, he's got that on his
47 catches this past year. Wow, 47 catches for 619 yards. Can Matt Lauder get to 60 catches?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt Lauder. I mean, dude, Genty had the ball 380 times. There's going to be some touches to go around this thing. And if I'm Matt Lauder, I'm thinking, dude, I want like 60 at a minimum. I want to get 1,000 yards, 10 teeters, and solidify myself as one of the premier tight ends on the West Coast.
All right, you sold me. If Matt Lauder has 60-plus catches and can get close to 1,000 yards and has that kind of production, which when you look at the receiving core, I mean, and as long as Matt Lauder stays healthy, there's no reason he shouldn't. All right, you sold
You see him in practice, BJ. You see him in practice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He dominates in practice.
He's tough to cover, man. I think that's an NFL kid.
Okay, you sold me for Matt Lauder as number 2. Virgin Morgan, Ty Benefield, we both think are guys that have a chance to come out, have a chance to go and do something. If they come out, I think both those guys would for sure at least be in a camp somewhere. 2 more guys that I kind of have as I think, higher maybe on the list than some. But, I mean, I got Mason Randolph on there still. I know Brad Bedell and some folks are very high on Mason Randolph at center. He's battled injuries and dealt with some things. But if if Ben Dooley can sign here with the Rams, if Mason Randolph can stay healthy and play a full season at center, I think there's a chance Mason Randolph can find himself wearing an NFL helmet.
Center value as well, right? I mean, there's the value of the center position. We all know what we need to see from Mason Randolph, and I agree with all those coaches as well, and those guys are way more intelligent about this, certainly, than I am. And then when they say every year Mason Randolph is better, if he stays healthy, he's going to be one of the better centers we've had here in a while, and they've had some really good ones. He would definitely be on the list. For me, it's like still an incomplete. It's like he needs to, play 12, 14 games this year, be all league, all everything, get better on the field and be out there more. And yeah, I forgot about Mason Randolph, and you make a good point on that one. Roger Carrion, I could throw in that loop too as well, possibly.
Roger Carrion is the 10th player on my list. I think Roger Carrion, if he stays healthy, starts every game and is another, has a solid season for a team that's going to run the ball probably and have some big offensive numbers. Roger Carrion is on my list. I think he is a guy that could work his way into getting into a camp at some point. All right, a couple other guys that I think have a chance. I'm not sure about getting drafted, but definitely being one of these 4 guys that signed. Johnny, what would you say about Braxton Feely?
It needs to put on some weight, I think. I don't think he's is big or big enough to be an NFL drafted interior 3 technique defensive lineman where he's going to have to go up against those NFL guards every play. I think there's still a process though, but yeah, with some of the players certainly that are getting their shots, I'd be surprised if Braxton Feely, isn't one of those who gets a shot as well. You could maybe even throw Marco in there if Marco has a sensational year, and I wouldn't be shocked if Marco Notriani is the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year this year. I think he's on pace to have that type of productive season. I'm not going to throw LVE stuff out there, obviously. He's not at an all-American level like Leighton was, but I know he's at an all-conference level, and I really like his length. He has that length that NFL GMs and folks are wanting in regards to linebacker, just being able to cover more ground. It makes sense, and Marco has that length, and the best thing about Marco is he's highly, highly intelligent. NFL guys love smart kids, and Marco's one of them there too. So maybe on the defense, you heard me mention McCoy earlier too. A few guys that BJ. That's the group of I can see it, but they still need to do more and have a good year, stay healthy, and all that type of stuff. And yeah, I think they're on the shot. It's hard to believe that this next year's team might have more players drafted, probably will have more players drafted than this year's team. And I don't think next year's team will be able to beat this year's team, if you know what I mean on that. But good for them. Spencer's getting some dudes in the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt. I did have Amarian McCoy on my list. I agree with you. I think he's a guy that if he can go have another solid season, he got that extra, ruling season this year of eligibility that he wasn't expecting. So another year for him to, put some tape together and some production and see what he can do. Two other guys on the offensive side of the ball, Johnny. I'm throwing Malik Sherrod in there. If he comes to Boise State and rushes and does some things and has some return touchdowns in the special teams game, I think a veteran guy like that at least get a chance in a camp. I think Malik Sherrod is a guy, and I'm going to throw as a wild card Chris Marshall. If Chris Marshall can do something this season, his size, his pedigree, all of his hype, if Chris Marshall can find, and I'm banking on him finally living up to the hype a little bit this year. If he has 6 catches, he's not getting signed by an NFL team. But if Chris Marshall, we all see it at practice, Johnny, when he's out there, he has the physical ability to be a number 1 NFL type receiver if he puts it together. Malik Sherrod, Chris Marshall, 2 wild cards for me.
Yeah, Malik Sherrod, that's a great one. Malik Sherrod's going to be in an NFL camp. I think Malik Sherrod right now is going to lead this team in scrimmage yards, maybe even all-purpose yards, probably all-purpose yards, because it looks like he's going to be the primary kick and punt returner. Don't love his size at the NFL. I think probably he'd be more of a gadget guy. Here's an old school name that popped into my head. I'm sorry, people, but Dave Meggett for the Bill Parcells Giants throughout those years. He'll return kicks and punts. He'll play on third down. He'll make guys miss. He catches the ball extremely well. Malik Sherrod's going to be, I think, get a good NFL look. Now, will he get drafted? I don't think so, BJ, right? Maybe. But yeah, I put him on the list. And who was the other guy you threw out there, BJ? Malik Sherrod.
Chris Marshall. Probably laughing at me, but I'm going to throw Chris. I'm going to just throw Chris Marshall as a flyer, just because of I don't know.
I love the kid, man. Nobody likes Chris Marshall more than me. Prater and I had him in our top 5 for the most important players going into spring ball. Because for everything you're saying, can we see it? Can you be receiver 1? Can the injuries be free? Can the focus be there? And can you say, okay, I'm the premier receiver in this conference and it's not even close. And this is a conference that had a few drafted receivers this year. That's me this year. We just don't see him enough, man. I wish we could get on there and say that. But when we do our list, Prater and I are top 15 most important players on the team after spring. I don't know how we put Chris Marshall on it. I don't know how you can factor him in. If he checks all those boxes, I'm with you on that. If he checks all those boxes, Chris Marshall might be the first or second player on this team drafted as far as ability goes. I wouldn't count on it. If you told me, okay, here's 35 catches and 35 catches, 500 yards and 6 touchdowns for Marshall this year, do you take it right now? I would.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I know fans don't want to hear that. 35 catches? Wait, what? I think I would take that now. But I hope it's way more than that. I love Chris Marshall, but you guys watching, me and BJ are at practice. There's a lot of guys that they're just not out there very often, and Chris Marshall has battled with that here, and he's not available.
Our man Chris V saying, how about Caples getting a camp invite?
Hope so. Love that kid. 6-year player. Sure. If Caples is the guy that gets the 50-plus catch season that you would hope, one receiver is going to be able to step up and have that Cam Camper season last year, a pretty good all-conference caliber season. That's Trell this year, and he's 100% healthy. Maybe he goes in a camp. Sure. I'm not gonna put that on him. Take that away from him. I think Trell could do that. Sure. Good one. Chris V. He's at practice, a little CVS.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Love the depth of talent we have going into this year. As you said, that's crazy to think there could be more prospects, more draftable players on this year's team than last year's team. But right now on paper, yes, I'm taking last year's team all day, right?
Yeah. Just give the ball to 2. Give the ball to Ash, and it's it, Ash and Genty, that team would give any team in Boise State history troubles. I'm not saying they would beat the 2010 team. They wouldn't, but they would have their hands full with Ashton Genty, as you know. But yeah, that team could hold its own against any team in program history. If you have to be just simply, if Genty has a great game, like I don't know, even if the 2010 team, they're going to need, Kellen to beat Kellen, which probably would happen anyway. But wouldn't that be fun? Some type of situation where you could match these teams. I don't think anybody's beaten the 2010 team. People could comment on that.
That sounds like a June weekly series on KTIK coming up.
The all-time team tournament, and you have the brackets and the years, and the fans vote on who they would win, and you bring guests from both teams to talk about them on their behalf. BJ.
We just do your show prep for you, man. There you go. Plenty of other. So there you go. 10, 11, 12 prospects have a chance for next year. We'll obviously be following them going into the year, but good luck to the 6 that made it this year. And the first up will be Alexander Tubner. Did you see the video, by the way, of Ashton Genty practicing in the thunderstorm down in Texas?
Yeah. Was that recent? I couldn't tell if that was an old video. I think, he's working out with a bunch of dudes and rain in Texas.
I don't know. That was a weird. He looked jacked, but I don't know. 3 days after the draft or whatever. Are you really gaining anything from that? I don't know. That was more of maybe a show thing. I don't know if that was recent or not. I don't know.
I didn't know. I thought maybe that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that. That's pretty sweet.
Hey, all right, plenty of other topics to get to. Johnny has also said that anything is on the table today. This is a press conference Thursday with John Mallory. If you do have a question about Johnny, anything, personal life, love life, whatever you want to know from John Mallory, you can reach out. This is your chance today to ask John Mallory a question right now. We will get to that here momentarily. But hey, our title sponsor, roepaint.com, roepaint.com. All your painting needs, those concrete coatings, interior, exterior paintings, hit up our title sponsor, roepaint.com. TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. Taco Bell, we appreciate the Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. They are hiring if you're looking for a job, and the food is pretty darn good as well. Get more information, TacoBellWorks.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We appreciate them. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check them out online. Make the switch today. You'll be happy you did. ICCU.com. Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game. TheSpaTeam.com is the website. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. If you're looking for a sauna, a spa, a pool table, they got you covered online, thespateam.com. If you need Boise State gear, the Blue and Orange Store has you covered online, theblueandorangestore.com. You can order anywhere in the world, or if you're in the Boise area, just go to the Boise Town Square Mall, second floor there next to Pro Image. Best deals in town, the best clearance rack in town. The hat selection is unmatched. Great prices and help support a Bronco. The Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorangestore.com. Hey, if you're hungry, how about that $5 meal deal at Jackson's? 2 hot dogs and a kettle chips for $5 from our friends at Jackson's. $5 meal deal. Again, 2 hot dogs and a kettle chips for $5. And don't forget, they got the 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night. 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night from our friends at Jackson's. You just have to use the Let's Go Rewards app for that. All right, Johnny, speaking of asking you anything, I am pleased to announce that one of our Q&A on stage guests for the happy hour, the Bronco Nation News happy hour event in conjunction with the golf tournament. It's coming up May 29th. It's going to be at 6 o'clock at the Western Collective Brewery. It is for the golf. You get a free entry if you're in the golf tournament. If you are not in the golf tournament and you want to come, you can pay $35, and that includes your beer from Horseshoe, the Horseshoe Collective, the Horseshoe Golden Ale. Kellen would have murdered that secondary. There you go. I'm in the middle of a promo here, Johnny. Get that off the screen. The BNN happy hour event, 6 o'clock on May 29th at Western Collective Brewery in Garden City there. If you came last year, it was awesome, but this year is going to be way bigger, way better. It is open to the public. $35 that we're making donation to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. Included in that price is going to be your Horseshoe Golden Ale beer, your Orange Chaos Seltzer, and I believe they're throwing in Peak Juice as well. So beverages included. You get to hang out with Mike Prater, hang out with Johnny Ballgame, hang out with Jay Tust. I'll be there. A lot of coaches are going to be there. I know David Moats. We're getting Burns, Duryea, the whole crew, and Coach Rice on stage. I'm looking to finalize that, but I'm pretty confident we're going to have Leon Rice again on stage. And we're hoping Spencer Danielson, Johnny, they've got some recruiting stuff going on, but we're working through that. But one person I can confirm will go on stage, We'll take your questions. And Johnny, you know this guy very well, so this could be fun. The one and only Dirk Cutter has agreed to come on stage and take some questions. So Dirk Cutter will be hanging out. We're going to have, Bedell, Riddle, Riley Smith. I mean, all kinds of former players, current players for the basketball team, football team. It's going to be a really cool event. $35 gets you, again, the chance to come in and mingle for a couple hours, have a couple beverages, and help a charity and a good cause at the same time. If you missed last year's happy hour, this one's going to be way better, but here's a quick look back at what you missed. All right, so last year's event, Johnny, was at Stein Distributing. We're opening it up. We need a bigger space. So Western Collective, the brewery there in Garden City, a huge area outside there, and it's going to be they have like a beer garden out there. It's going to be awesome. And again, anybody that wants to come right now, it's open to the public. We do have limited seats, so don't waste or limited space. But if you want to get some buddies together and you're want to come hear from Dirk Cutter and hear from some other coaches and hang out. You were there last year, Johnny. Some cool kind of stories with Spencer and Leon up there on stage. That was fun, and this year's going to be even better.
Yeah, that's a cool deal. People want to have conversations and meet those folks that BJ was mentioning. It's really easy. I mean, they are there to talk to you guys. So I would just say my advice, just if you want to talk to somebody, just go up to Kent Riddle and just talk to him. Hey, Coach, how you doing? I'm Steve, and big fan. How's it going? Just flat out. Coach Bedell, hey, man, what was it like playing, in the NFL or this and that? Like, that's what they want to do. So that's what I would say. If you do go to that and you have nerdy football or whatever questions, they will answer them. Even Dirk Cutter, man. You guys ask Dirk Cutter NFL stuff. He loves talking about that stuff. So, have some good questions. Do your homework. Get the list of who's going to be there and come up with questions. Just go around. Heck yeah, man. Pretty soon BNN might hire you.
That's what Johnny did at this thing last year. He was just bugging Bedell about NFL stuff the whole time. So
that's what I always do. Homework.
Dirk Cutter did say you and Prater couldn't be within 10 feet of him, but he would be there. So
he's kidding. He's kidding.
So that is May 29th. Our golf tournament is sold out right now, May 30th. And we've already sold it out. We're looking forward to that. I know you guys are going to be doing your show out there, Johnny. It's going to be a lot of fun. But May 29th, we maybe need to get you guys over at Western Collective, maybe as well on the 29th. Let's see if we can get some money in it for you guys there, and maybe do a show on Thursday from Western Collective before this event. I'll try to get you a deal. We'll see what we can do. But I love just workshopping stuff, on the air here in front of everybody, Johnny. But
let's go. What you got? Let's go Boise State stuff. Where's
I want to just throw it in there one more time. May 29th. May 29th is the date, so we're less than a month away now. It's actually 4 weeks from today. 4 weeks from today. So if you're interested, want to help a good cause, hang out with some coaches, some players. I believe the NIL guys from Lithia Ford will be there, including Kage Casey, including Roger Carrion. So Matt Lauder, the guys we're talking about. If you want to come hang out and see those guys, that'll be May 29th. Email me, DM me on Twitter, whatever, and it's $35, limited tickets there as well. Okay. By the way, Johnny, you're looking lean, and they're saying here you need to update your KTIK web pick.
I've been saying that for a couple of years down there. I've lost quite a bit of weight. Not to brag or anything, but I'd love to get new shots, PJ. Why are you even airing that? Get out of here. Come on, let's go.
Says, this is no. If you're in the golf tournament, you just show up. Drew, appreciate you. You're in the golf tournament. Just show up. You do not have to RSVP. But we'll be sending out more emails to those that are in the golf tournament here moving forward. Jaden Mickey update. I don't know what update you want. He's coming over he'll be here for summer school in June, right, Johnny?
Yep.
By the way, Arizona linebacker Sterling Lane, I don't know if you saw this or not, Johnny, his final two, Boise State and Western Kentucky. He's a transfer from Arizona, had 26 tackles last year at Arizona, a linebacker. So as they look to fill that depth with Andrew Simpson leaving, keep an eye on Sterling Lane, Arizona transfer. Don't know a ton about him, but I did see on social media his final two, Western Kentucky and Boise State.
What if Drew wants back?
I think that's a little different one. I wouldn't expect that to happen. But
this is going to be weird because we all know Spencer and Braxton's relationship. Braxton got to come back. Great. I was for it too. This team, hey. But if Andrew wants to too, well, Coach, you took Brax back. I don't know. That could be a little wishy-washy at times when you let one kid come back and you don't let the other. But, I mean, that's how the game is played. I mean, it's not – I mean, this is big boy football. I get it. But, I mean, Boise State fans in the comments, you guys would take Drew Simpson back, right? I mean, it's an all-conference player. Maybe BJ, no news is good news. He's still trying to work it out. I don't know.
Yeah, it would set a bad precedent, I think, if you take two guys back. I don't know. I don't think you want this something where just every player can start going out there and shopping themselves around for better offers and then wanting to come back.
That's what I thought was a unique situation about Braxton Feely too. You're right. I mean, it does send a message that I mean, because then if that's the case, every kid's going into the portal just to see what they can get. And don't worry, Coach, if I don't get it, I'll be back. Just sit tight.
And some schools are okay with that. I know some schools like, hey, yeah, you go see what you can get and then come on back. But I don't know if an Andrew Simpson would they love to have Andrew Simpson back? I'm sure, but I mean, they would have loved to have Eric McAllister back a couple years ago too. I mean, I just don't think in his case, I think that's a little different. I mean, I think Braxton Feely, I mean, Spencer, officiated his wedding. I know he's close with Andrew Simpson too. I get it. He'd be a great player to have back. I don't see that happening. I'd be very surprised, Johnny, if that happened.
Okay. But, I mean, I'll take your opinion on that one. Sure. But the Arizona kid would be a nice fill-in for Drew. Sure, I get that as well. Add much-needed depth at that position. That way you can actually tell Jake Ripp you actually have a position this year. It's not still, hey, we don't really know yet, but you're going to play. And that's kind of where Ripp is these days.
And it's interesting, Johnny. They talk so much about wanting to get a wide receiver in the transfer portal, and they continue to add players at almost every position except wide receiver. They added an offensive lineman from Australia that played a year at Utah yesterday. They added the punter from Weber State, obviously, to help fill the void a little bit from James Ferguson Reynolds. They continue to add players here in this spring window, and they're still looking for that wide receiver out there.
That is odd. I haven't even thought about that, but you're right. We keep hearing their receivers will go to their social media and say, I got an offer or a visit, this and that. We've talked to the coaches. We know they're looking to add depth in there. I mean, BJ, the end of spring, you look at the receivers out there in practice. You had the quarterback turned receiver, who's I think his dad was Spencer Danielson's OC in college or something. That's number 17, Trenton Giles. You had Ben Ford, you had Penry. I mean, there wasn't anybody left, and you're thinking, okay, they need some depth at receiver. Why they haven't signed that? I mean, what's a receiver want in the portal? Is it not enough money? Maybe. They don't have a lot of money to offer a high-level receiver. They just have a guy to come in and say, hey, you'll get a shot to compete here. We don't and so it might not be the money. Maybe it's the passing. Maybe it's the quarterback play. Maybe kid's like, that's a running team. Look at their receivers. They're not going to get – I need touches. You know what these kids are about. Sadly, it's them first. It's their individual stuff first. And then it's the team. I mean, they need to get their situation. It's a business, oddly. And then if that works out great with the team, maybe they just don't have – maybe Boise State's offering players that are still getting better offers from other programs. You make a lot of sense there, BJ. I don't know. Actually, I do know. I don't think they're going to go into fall camp with this current receiver group, right? There's going to be at least another one. Wouldn't you say that? Even though the emergence of Camp Bates and all this stuff, I still think they need another guy.
Have to find one. By the way, Johnny, here is Sterling Lane on his visit. A couple of photos he posted here, but he's with Jabril Frazier and Dimitri Washington. So more of an outside edge type guy. It looks like
Jabril's still in that gym. He's taking advantage of that weight room. Look at that, BJ. Where's the UFL? Get Jabril to rush a UFL passer. Where are the St. Louis Battlehawks, BJ? Aren't you doing some scouting for them? Get Frazier playing a little UFL action. That dude's still cut, man. Good for Jabril.
We'd take him. I'll put my There you go, Johnny. There's my.
Yeah, throw it on. Throw it on. Love it.
I got to be the only person west of Kansas City probably that has Battlehawks gear.
Yeah. You getting to a game this year?
What's that?
You getting to a Battlehawk game this year?
Probably not, man. Probably not.
Damn, that's got to hurt.
I know. We got the Battlehawks, the Cardinals, and the Blues, by the way, Friday night, all playing at 7:00, all in St. Louis. I'd be curious.
What's the order of importance?
Oh, easily Blues, then probably Cardinals, then Battlehawks.
Cool.
Let's see here. Sets a bad precedent, Johnny, for any kid on the team that doesn't have a close relationship.
That's what I'm saying. We've been saying that on Idaho Sports Talk too. We love it. We get the unique relationship, but what about the kid that says, "Hey, coach, I went portaling too. I'm calling back crying." I mean, it's going to be tough for Danielson to say no to you, yes to Braxton, but here's why I said yes to Braxton, and here's why we're saying no to you. And Spencer, I mean, he's the best, dude. He'll have that conversation. I mean, Spencer could yell at you and you still love him. You know, he's one of those guys that you're just sad that you disappointed him. I think the players have that with Spence. They don't want to let him down because they know how much he puts in to this program. So, I mean, I would respect his decision either way. If Spencer says, yes, JVM is back, and other player, no, and I have my reasons, okay. That's all I need to hear on that. But it does set an interesting precedent. Like, who said that? Bronco 30? I mean, yeah, because some kids get to come back and some kids don't based on relationship with the coach. I guess you could say, dude, that's life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, other kids are going to say, wait, what's going on? You know, I don't know, but we'll see if they handle it. We'll see what happens as a result. But the bottom line is they got Braxton Feely back and they needed him, BJ. Yep. Spencer's got to win games to get to keep doing all this stuff, to keep changing lives, to keep developing people. You got to win games or you don't get to do that. They'll bring somebody else in who can do all that stuff, but also win games. So Spencer knows that, and Braxton Feely is going to help him win games. Absolutely.
All right. Final thing I want to get Johnny's thoughts on is the TV deal with the Pac-12 and expansion and some of the rumors and thoughts we're hearing on that. We'll do that to wrap up the show in just a second. But I do want to thank Lithia Ford of Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com. View their full inventory of vehicles online. LithiaFordBoise.com. And they're sponsoring the hole-in-one contest at the golf tournament. You get a hole-in-one on hole 6. You're going home with a new vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise. Matt Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher. We appreciate Matt and his team for their help and support of BNN. And no home is too big or too small. When you're ready to get top dollar for your sale and get all the credits and the best deal you can when you're looking to buy a house, hit up Matt Bauscher and his team. Highly recommended. He's part of the Boise State home team now at BauscherRealEstate.com. Hey, you want a hometown feel, friendly environment when you walk in the grocery store? And how about some great savings as well? Well, that's Ridley's Family Markets. Online, shop Ridley's.com. You can find one of their 13 Idaho locations. Download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. Love that McCall location. That'll be a busy one as folks start heading up there for the spring and summer. But check them out. Shop Ridley's.com. Speaking of jobs, Transportation Compliance Service is hiring, and they're helping hire folks into the trucking industry. Transcomservice.com, all the paperwork, DOT overweight, everything you need to get into the trucking industry. Local company helping out folks all over the world. Hit them up, Transcomservice.com. LeanFeastMeridian.com. That's right, Lean Feast Meridian. You want to eat healthy? You want to eat with the football team, basketball team, or eating? How about Lean Feast? LeanFeast.com. Highly recommend checking them out. Healthy meal options, 2 minutes in the microwave. You're eating steak, shrimp, chicken, fish. Lean Feast. Hit them up, leanfeastmeridian.com. And if you have a voicemail, you want to speak your mind on anything that we talked about on today's show or any show, you can do that at speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/BNN. It's courtesy of Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, repair, an estimate, an inspection, all your roofing needs, hit up Signature Roofing at mysignatureroofing.com. All right, Johnny, final topic here. We heard about, the ESPN, CBS getting involved for a little bit with the 2025 schedule. And the ESPN one, it's a Friday night game against Houston, and it's a late night game against Cal. So, ESPN was pretty selective here. They took 2 games against other teams that they have relationships with. But I was very happy to see ESPN involved in this. I mean, I love Prater, but I saw his tweet, or do you want ESPN to get back with Boise State or whatever? Why wouldn't, who would say no on that? Who would not want ESPN to be back involved with Boise State and the Pac-12 going forward? I think I saw it was 85-15 at one point, but it's Is that even a question? Like, of course, who would say no? I mean, maybe somebody on the chat can explain to me, why would you not want ESPN? Maybe for the sole reason of you're worried about, 8:30 kickoffs, I guess. But I think at this point, you take that, you get ESPN back in the fold. And I think from the hype train that ESPN is, from College Game Day, from College Football Live, all the hype that ESPN does for the playoff and the rankings, I think you need Boise State in that relationship with the Pac-12, with ESPN. So that's the number one thing I wanted to see all along, was ESPN back involved. And I think it's very encouraging. I don't think ESPN taps into this Pac-12 in 2025 if they're not talking about 2026. So just what's your take on what we saw from 25 and what your hope is for 26 and beyond?
I like the CW. I'm buying that just because if you have linear TV, you have the CW. As you know, it's in every single home. Every single home. I know it's maybe tough to find. I don't know. If you have YouTube TV or these new streaming services, you just go there. It's not like you're channel surfing anymore. You can find your game easier than you could before. And if the CW's like, hey, we'll kick off at 5, and ESPN's like, we're kicking off at 8:45. Maybe a Boise State fan would say, okay, I'd rather take the CW and everything that comes with that than be, the scraps on ESPN2 Saturday night at 8:45. I don't know, but you want them all. And the CBS thing, it looks like CBS might dabble. Maybe they want the conference championship. Maybe they want like 2 key games, which would probably be like Washington State versus Oregon State, and then Boise State versus maybe Fresno or something like that. And then ESPN could take a few of those key games too. And other than that, I guess you're on the CW. Think about this. When you get to league play next year, BJ, it looks like there's going to be 8 teams in the league. So league play week, that's 4 games. Okay, can you get one on ESPN late night? Yes. Can you get a double header on the CW? Hell yes. And can you find one game on CBS Sports Network? Yeah, but there has to be a place, love ya, Eck, for Wyoming, New Mexico on a random Saturday night on some channel. And there's your lineup right there. And that's doable. So I would hope that those networks want that moving forward, saying it's the second best West Coast brand football we could get, way better than the Mountain West now. And you still have programs like Washington State and Oregon State do really well on TV numbers in those markets. Portland, Oregon is the number 20 or 21 market. The second most watched team in that market is the Oregon State Beavers in market 20. Same thing for the Washington State Cougars. They're the second most viewed team there. So there's some value there on the West Coast. I mean, as many people are watching those games, I would say, as some of these other teams, maybe in bigger conferences, but in lower level geographic locations. So hopefully that they can work that out. I don't know if you're going to be streaming somewhere. I mean, is it going to be an Apple package? But feels to me like if you only need inventory in league play for 4 games a week, 8-team league, dude, maybe you do a triple header on the CWBJ. Maybe you do a Friday night game. If one of those games is playing on Friday, then all of a sudden you only have 3 conference games on a Saturday. Feels to me like you can find a nice little path to get decent TV. I don't know what the revenue would be, but at least to get decent coverage, BJ. So yeah. I'm optimistic about it. I can't wait for that new Pac-12 to start.
Yeah, I think you get some sort of set Thursday or Friday night package where you've just got a game every Friday on ESPN at 8:00 or whatever, or on CBS Sports Network at 8:00 every Friday. I mean, what those leagues I'm sure would love to pencil.
Yeah, CBS Sports Network sucks though, and you know that. You don't want to be on that. For me, that's the bottom. If you're on that, you're like, what? What other games are this week? Why the hell is Boise State on CBS Sports Net? Like, it's just not every household has it. That's all I'm saying. I know it's the CBS brand, but that anyway. Right, guys? Comments
or whatever. I'll throw CW in there, whatever. If you can just get I think a weeknight package where every Friday there's just a game on that channel. They still need another team though, Johnny. We'll see what happens. Whether it's UNLV, whether it's Memphis, like we're a year away from this thing starting. Like there's 1 year left in the Mountain West, and they're still without a team. So I mean,
I think they might be. I think there are provisions where they could apply or a waiver or something and play as a 7-team conference. BJ, I hope they don't do that.
I don't know, because the Pac-12's already had their 2 years. You get a 2-year grace period, I believe, and they've been doing that with the 2 teams, right?
That's true. I don't know if something does change when you add teams, but you're right. Maybe they can't even go in that direction. So they do need to find that team and find that team fast rather than settle. Like they don't want these, in my opinion, these Sacramento State saying, hey, look at us over here. We're building something. We want to be a part of the new pack. We're market 19. Yeah, market 19 here. We got people here. Like, I don't know. Memphis just makes so much sense. And I still hold out hope that they can get that done. And then all of a sudden, when you got a pretty good damn league.
Memphis and UNLV, 9 teams. You play 8 conference games, round robin. Memphis,
that'd be sweet.
UNLV, go to 9. Come on.
Conference championship game in Vegas every year. Destination deal.
What do we got? What do we got? 3 to 6 today on Idaho Sports Talk.
Ooh, 3 to 6 today, BJ. How about Bob Beeler chiming in with an all-time team in his era? We're going to have some fun with that. Think about that. Bob started in 2008. So it's only players that he's seen. He's going to put together some type of all-time team. I'm going to help him on that. 3 to 6 today on KTIK Sports Radio, The Ticket. Appreciate you having me on as always, BJ. Sorry about your Blues last night. Sorry about your Blues, but let's force that game 7, BJ.
John Gruden will be in the house tomorrow night for the Blues. So he's going to fire up the crowd, and we're going to get the win tomorrow night. Who we got? Jay
Tust. Read it and weep. An authentic, never been opened Ken Griffey Jr., 1989 starting lineup figure. Look at that old school Mariner jersey there.
What's that worth right now?
For me, it's priceless. There's no price on this. There's no price.
Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, Johnny.
Eat it, Tust.
Appreciate it, Johnny. Thanks all you guys for listening, for watching. Nathan Carroll has a new article up on BNN about Braxton Feely coming back. Make sure you go read that. Johnny, check your Venmo. You've been paid for the month. Appreciate you as always, and hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Don't forget, if you want in for that happy hour, Dirk Cutter, all the coaches, players, going to be a lot of fun. And Johnny, you get to even – you said you'd waive the autograph fee that night, right?
No, I'm not. I never waived the autograph fee, and here's why.
Oh, there's typical Johnny. Typical Johnny. Well, May 29th, happy hour event. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can hang out with some of your favorite coaches, basketball, football, players. It's going to be a lot of fun. So hope you'll join us. $35 is the entry fee. And again, that includes your beer and your seltzers from Western Collective. And so we're going to have a lot of fun with that, raise some money for the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. And if you are golfing, you get to come to that for free. If you're not golfing the next day, we're opening this up to everybody so everybody can still feel like they're a part of this and having fun and helping us raise money for a good cause. So reach out to me if you want to buy some tickets to that. We can invoice you, do Venmo. It's just Rains, RAINS, at BroncoNationNews.com. You can also tweet at me, whatever. But we want to pack that place and have a great time and raise a lot of money for charity and just kind of a cool thing. And if it goes well, you know what? We might make this a monthly thing. I've had a lot of people ask, how about maybe a monthly BNN happy hour where you just hang out with the BNN folks and talk and be it, BSU fans just hanging out and having a beverage here or there. Maybe that's something we can make a monthly thing, but this will be a mega one with all the coaches and a Q&A and all kinds of cool stuff's going to be happening. And so looking forward to it. That's 4 weeks from tonight, and we'll be telling you more about it as we confirm the participants. But our first confirmed 100% participant in the Q&A, Dirk Cutter. Looking forward to having him there on May 29th. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Email me if you want in. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Got a lot of cool stuff in the works. And again, Nathan Carroll's article, you can go read that at BroncoNationNews.com right now and what it means to have Braxton Feely back in the fold for 2025. All right, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.